before we actually start into the steps, teaching you those, we want to go over some of the fundamentals of dancing so that doing the steps is a lot easier. So we're going to address the issues of posture, movement, frame, and eventually hold.
So we have this checklist. As Michael just mentioned, there's the 4 headings that we're going to go over. The first 3 you are responsible for within yourself. So you'll notice we've left hold till last because you're going to connect all of this good technique to your partner at the end. So let's discuss posture first. So to have good posture, Michael and I talk about having center of gravity and center of levitation lined up. So let's talk about where the center of gravity is. Right where your belly button is, you can kind of stick your finger in your navel right there, that's where your center of gravity is located. Underneath the center of gravity, you can see your hips, knees, ankles, and eventually the toes all flex to drop your weight down into the floor. The floor is your best friend. Gravity is a really helpful source of energy, so you want to feel like you keep your center of gravity connected down to the floor.
So you soften your hip, knee, and ankle joints, the muscles that control them, and that allows gravity to have an effect on you.
Now, the next center we talked about is your center of levitation, which is right where your sternum is, that solar plexus, that little dent. So if you want to, you can stick your finger into that little hole right there. That's your center of levitation. And if gravity means about weight down, levitation is about lift. We obviously lift our spine, and when we go into our frame, we'll be lifting our frame to levitation height. Now, these 2 points need to be lined up the whole time. So we're just going to turn sideways to the camera too. So gravity is a very strong force. So what would happen is if you let gravity win, center of gravity comes forward, center of levitation drops down. I don't know about you, but I don't want to dance like this. So now from here, what we're going to do is lift the center of levitation up so that the center of gravity slots right in underneath it. And you should be able to feel both fingers are lined up one on top of each other. So those little holes of the navel and the sternum are lined up right on top of each other. If you feel like one is set back, bring it underneath. Make sure that your head is stretched as far up as it can go. If you feel like you've got anything left, keep stretching up. Make sure you keep the shoulders connected down into your center of gravity. You never want to feel that the shoulders come up around the ears. You want a nice long neck at all times.
So the outsides of the body actually go down with the gravity through the arms and shoulders. It's only the center line, the spine. That's why we want the top of it to be pulling up towards the heavens.
So now from here, you can have this nice straight posture on the front of the foot, so we can bring our weight towards each other, or you can go to the middle of the foot, or it can go to the back of the foot where the toes can click up and down. You'll notice it can be on different parts of the foot. What you don't want to do is collapse the posture backwards or forwards. You would want to shift it all in one position through the foot so that you can use the whole foot when we get to the movement. Okay, so this covers standing up nice and straight. This is number 1 primary importance. If you're not standing up straight, you're not dancing beautifully. So make sure you look at yourself in the mirror and practice good posture. If you get good posture, then we'll move on to movement.